Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to share with you how do you create a photo album. Photo album was been my best sellers lately, and I'm going to share with you how do I do it. Of course, first thing first, we need a reliable printer and some machineries that will help us to make this album. So here are the things that I'm going to use for the printers, machineries, and everything, and also the tools that you will need for your photo album. I will share all the links down below. Since I'm creating a Layflat photo album, so I'm printing it only on one side, not double side, as you can see here. Afterwards, I laminated everything with 18 micron to 25 micron matte lamination to protect the print. At the same time, you can feel the texture. It's really good. Carefully, one by one, and after I cut them, of course, I arrange them according to the event or occasion or as per the customer. Now, here's the critical part about the photo album. You need to fold them as much as possible even, so that when you stick them together with an adhesive, it will look like it's only one page. But if you have like borders on the side of the photo paper, like what I have here, it's fine when you cut it, so you have allowance when you cut it. So now what I do here is I will put the adhesive now on all sides. First, on the side where I fold it, I will carefully put two small adhesive on it, and on the side where it's like the top, the bottom, and where you open the Photobook, I will put a whole adhesive on it, so to stick it on the next page. Here, I will peel it off the small ones on the side of the adhesive. Why is that? Is because I want it to align perfectly on the next page before I stick them all together. If I accidentally stick them all together and it's not aligned, it will be hard for me and I need to start again. As you can see here, I'm aligning it perfectly as much as I can. See, I'm checking the edge on both sides and on the top as well. Now what I will do, I will put some tape on the side that will serve as a spine of my photo album. It really helps a bit so it will not move later on when I stash them all together. And once I know it's already aligned, I will now peel it off the remaining adhesive. And of course, you need to double check whether it is aligned again, so later on there will be no bubble, or you don't need to repeat the whole process of printing and laminating and putting the adhesive and folding again. So yeah, it takes a lot of practice and patience, but once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. So you just need some practice. I wasted a lot of papers, and yeah, it happens, but you know, if you're really passionate of what you're doing, of course eventually you'll do it, inshallah. So I just keep on doing this, folding and putting adhesive and taping them all together. So I just keep on folding and binding them together until I created a block of papers, the photo album. Now, as you can see that it's a bit bumpy in the middle, it's because of that tape. Now we need to bind them or press it. Since I don't have a book binding press, I'm going to use a C-clamp and a simple wood that I have. So I will just press it with what I have right now. But if you have a book binding machine, that will be perfect, like the book binding press, sorry. And then afterwards, we're just going to put some glue on it and wait like, let's say 5 to 6 hours to dry it, so it's really dry and it's really good and intact. But if you can do like double double glue it, like after 1 hour when you put the glue, that would be awesome. And ta-da! Of course, I waited 4 hours. So yeah, you can see now that the bump is not there anymore because we press it. Now it's time for cutting. Now for cutting, you can have a guillotine, or probably if you don't have a guillotine, just use a cutter or a what do you call that? Yeah, a cutter and also a ruler. So now I'm going to cut all the sides of the Photobook. So once I finish cutting the Photobook, I will start now with my covers. For the cover, I usually use the same size of my Photobook. So for the cardboard, you will just make sure it's the same size of your Photobook. And also for the spine, it's also the same size of the spine for the cardboard. Now back to the cover, I'm going to stick it just like 2 A4 sheets of sticker paper because I don't have any A3 sticker paper. But if you do have like an A3 sticker paper, that would be awesome. But since I don't have, and it's quite expensive, so I will just use the 2 A4 sheets and just stick them together. But you need to be careful whenever you're sticking them because you need to make sure it's the same size of the your Photobook and also the spine. So once I carefully stick them together, the main trick that I have here to make it look like it's one, I will laminate it together. And then as you can see here, I'm checking the size if it's the same size of my Photobook. Here I even have like 1.5 millimeters For the spacing, you can see the stick over there for the book binding stick. It serves as like a guide for me. You need this 1.5 stick because it helps for opening and closing. You need to create a space to open and close for the opening and closing of the cover of the Photobook. And then I carefully created a mark where I wanted to fold it. And then once I'm done on creating a mark, I will go peel it off carefully, the sticker behind, and place it carefully as well, the cardboard. That's why you have a mark that serves as a guide at the same time, the book binding stick or tool that you have. The ones that I got, the size of it is like 1.5 millimeter or 2 millimeters, depending on what space that you wanted for your photo album. Because I wasn't able to give the size of my photo album because it depends also on how many GSM that you have and what's the size of your photo album. A lot of people are asking me if I can sell, by the way, a A4 size. But for me, it's really hard for me to do an A4 size. It's because I cannot do this kind of Layflat trick. This A5 size, I can create that Layflat trick. And if I'm going to use the hot glue one, sometimes I don't really trust the hot glue book binding. At first, it's not lay flat, and then second of all, I'm afraid that over a time it will peel off later on. So do you get me? Because the glue sometimes we don't know if it is strong enough to hold that for long. Because there's another way you can do a book binding wherein you can just buy I don't know how do you say it, but it's like a gluing machine that will just bind them all together like hot glue. But for me, I don't want that. So that's why I'm doing this the hard way. That's why I charge more, by the way, because this is really a handmade photo book wherein I stick it one by one together and fold it one by one together. That's why it takes a lot of time. And then sometimes customers are asking me to also arrange it, add some more details, and also for the cover, I try as much as possible to personalize it with that occasion that they have or events that they have. So after you finish the cover, of course, let's carefully align it with the photo block that we have. Once you're sure that it's already like aligned and the spacing it's good, then it's time to make it one. Now, don't forget, whenever you're trying to stick it, try to put a paper behind on the first page so that when you put the glue, it will not go wet. And on the edge, on the spine, don't forget to cover 1.5 millimeter. This is for the opening and closing of the Photobook. It will help later on because that 1.5 millimeter of space that we did with the book binding tool, it's for this one. So after I glue everything and carefully attach it to the cover, of course, don't forget to leave another paper on the first page and the last page of the Photobook so it will dry carefully, and that paper will absorb the glue later on, so it will not wrinkle later on. That's one trick that I did, and leave it for like 1 hour to dry. And there you have it. You have your very own photo album. Now this photo album is really a lot of work and it really takes a lot of time. That's why I suggest to do it like 2 to 3 days, especially if they wanted to have some, a big bulky photo album. It really takes a lot of time, but it's really worth it when it's finished. So I really hope you like the simple tutorial that I did, and if you have some questions, feel free to comment down below. And thank you so much for supporting me. Again and again, this is Charlene from Wizardworks, and happy crafting, guys!